The lights of Hong Kong shimmered across the harbor, reflecting off the water like tiny sparks of destiny. In the middle of that city, a young boy was about to begin a journey that no one could have predicted, a journey from pain and poverty to international fame, from being a stuntman who nobody noticed to becoming one of the most beloved stars in the world. That boy's name was Chan Kongsang, though the world would later know him as Jackie Chan. Jackie wasn't born into comfort. His parents were poor, and life gave them no easy path. When Jackie was still a child, his parents worked as cooks for the French ambassador in Hong Kong. They struggled to make ends meet, but they had dreams that their son would find something better. Yet, they didn't know that better would come through hardship that few children could survive. At just 7 years old, Jackie was sent away to the China Drama Academy, a harsh school for Chinese opera training. Imagine a place where children woke up before the sun, where their small bodies were pushed beyond their limits. They practiced acrobatics, martial arts, singing, acting, all day, every day. The instructors believed pain built strength. To them, bruises and tears were signs of progress. Jackie remembered those years not with hate, but with strange gratitude. Because even though the training was brutal, it shaped him into the man who would later do what no one else could, performing his own death-defying stunts with a smile. But at that time, he didn't see a future. He was just a small boy who missed his parents and cried quietly at night when the lights went out. There was no mercy at the academy. If a student made a mistake, punishment followed. Sometimes that meant being hit with a stick, sometimes it meant going without food. Jackie once said he was so scared of disappointing his teachers that he would practice even after everyone else was asleep. While other children dreamed, he was living a nightmare, yet that nightmare became the foundation of his greatness. By the time Jackie was a teenager, he could flip, kick, and fall like no one else. He could land on his head, roll on concrete, and jump from impossible heights, all while keeping his balance and composure. The pain became his language, and the stage became his home. When the Academy's performing troupe toured Asia, Jackie was one of their brightest stars, known for his agility and fearless dedication, but fate had other plans. The world of Chinese opera was fading. People wanted movies, not live performances. Jackie's future seemed uncertain until he found his way into film sets as a stuntman. It was dangerous, dirty work, but it paid the bills. Jackie threw himself into it completely, often quite literally. He would jump off buildings, crash through glass, get kicked, punched, and thrown around, all in the name of realism. He started to get noticed by other stuntmen. There was something different about him. He wasn't just strong, he was creative. He treated every fall like a dance, every punch like a piece of choreography. The camera loved him, but fame still seemed far away. Then came the moment that would change everything. A famous martial arts star named Bruce Lee was filming his legendary movies. Jackie got a small role as one of the stuntmen. He admired Bruce deeply, watching every move he made. On one occasion, Bruce accidentally hit Jackie harder than expected during a scene. Jackie pretended to be in terrible pain, even after the director yelled "cut." Bruce ran to help him, worried he'd seriously hurt the young stuntman. When Jackie finally smiled, Bruce laughed, and from that day on, he remembered the kid with the playful grin. That short encounter left a deep mark on Jackie. He saw how Bruce's strength came not from his fists, but from his spirit. After Bruce's tragic death, many filmmakers tried to find the next Bruce Lee. They wanted someone fierce, serious, intense. Jackie tried, but it didn't feel right. He wasn't Bruce. He couldn't copy that kind of fire. His fire was different, so he made a decision that would forever change martial arts cinema. Instead of being the angry fighter, he became the funny one. He mixed action with humor, something nobody had done before. When he fell, he made it look funny. When he fought, it looked like a dance. And audiences loved it. They laughed, they gasped. And they couldn't look away, but success didn't come easily. Jackie's early movies didn't make much money. Producers didn't understand his style. They told him, "No one wants to laugh during a fight." But Jackie refused to give up. He believed in his vision. He believed that laughter and courage could exist together, that a hero didn't have to be perfect. He could be clumsy, scared, human. Then came Drunken Master, a film that changed everything. Jackie's mix of comedy, speed, and skill shocked audiences across Asia. They had never seen a martial artist fight like that, with rhythm, personality, and humor. Jackie was finally becoming the star he was meant to be. But with fame came new dangers. He was known for doing his own stunts, and he refused to use safety doubles. Every fall, every crash, every leap from a rooftop, it was all him. And it came with a price. Jackie broke nearly every bone in his body during his career. His skull was fractured, his ankle shattered, his fingers crushed. Doctors told him to stop, but he never did. People often ask him why. Why risk everything for a movie? Jackie always said it wasn't about fame or money. It was about honesty. When people watched his movies, he wanted them to feel the real fear, the real pain, the real courage. He wanted to prove that limits could be broken, not just on screen, but in life. There's a kind of magic in that kind of determination. A kind of truth that audiences could feel deep inside. Because everyone, in some way, has to face pain. Everyone falls, everyone fails. But Jackie showed that getting up again, even when it hurts, can be beautiful. From Hong Kong to Hollywood, from broken bones to broken records, his journey wasn't just about stunts, it was about spirit. But Jackie's story doesn't end there. In fact, the next chapter reveals something most people never knew, a part of his life that few talk about. Even today, he became a global superstar, but behind the smiles and laughter, there were moments of deep loneliness, heartbreak, and a secret that could have ended his career before it even began. What was that secret? And how did Jackie Chan transform not just into a movie star, but into a legend who changed how the world viewed courage, pain, and humor? The world began to whisper his name, Jackie Chan, but fame, as he soon learned, isn't a gift. It's a test. After Drunken Master exploded across Asia, Jackie became a superstar overnight. Crowds cheered, fans screamed, and every studio wanted him. Yet deep down, he felt something missing. His parents, who had once sent him away to that cruel opera school, were now living in Australia, far from the bright lights of Hong Kong. Jackie had money now, fame, respect, but not family. The success he dreamed of as a child didn't erase the loneliness that followed him like a shadow. Still, he worked endlessly. His schedule was punishing, sometimes filming 3 movies at once, sleeping only a few hours a night. He would run from one set to another, still covered in bruises and cuts, pushing his body to its limit. He said he wasn't afraid of dying, but he was terrified of being forgotten. Hollywood eventually came calling. But when Jackie arrived in America, he found something unexpected: rejection. Producers admired his stunts but didn't understand his charm. They wanted him to play villains or sidekicks who barely spoke. Jackie struggled to speak English fluently, and his accent became a barrier. He was told to be more like Bruce Lee. But Jackie wasn't Bruce. He was a clown with courage, a warrior with a smile. He tried several movies in the West, but they failed. The audiences didn't connect. He was heartbroken. After years of success in Asia, he was back to feeling like the unwanted kid in the opera school, unseen, unheard, underestimated. One night, after another failed movie release, Jackie sat alone in his hotel room. The city lights of Los Angeles flickered outside his window. He thought about quitting Hollywood altogether. Maybe I should just stay in Hong Kong, he whispered to himself. Maybe they'll never understand me here. But then he remembered his childhood. The beatings. The sleepless nights. The pain that forged him. If he could survive that, he could survive this too. So he decided to try again, but this time, on his own terms. He returned to Hong Kong and began creating movies that captured his soul. Police Story, Project A, Armor of God. These films became instant classics. He mixed death-defying stunts with humor, music, and emotion. He made action beautiful, turning danger into art. He wasn't just a fighter anymore, he was a storyteller, and the world started to notice again. Hollywood finally realized what they had missed. Then came the movie that changed everything, Rush Hour. Paired with comedian Chris Tucker, Jackie's energy found its perfect match. The world laughed, cheered, and fell in love. Suddenly, the boy from Hong Kong who once cried himself to sleep had become one of the most recognizable faces on earth, but even as his fame reached new heights, Jackie never stopped working. He never stopped taking risks. In one film, he fell from a clock tower. In another, he jumped from a helicopter onto a moving train. He once fractured his skull filming a simple scene, a fall from a tree in Yugoslavia. The injury nearly killed him. He lost consciousness, and blood pooled from his ear. Doctors told him to stop making movies. But he refused. When people asked him why he kept doing his own stunts, Jackie said something simple, because I want the audience to feel it's real. He believed that movies should make people believe, not through special effects, but through real effort. He wanted to give everything he had, even his pain, to the audience. That honesty is what made Jackie different. When he fell, you felt it. When he smiled, you trusted it. Every laugh he gave was paid for in sweat and blood, but behind that laughter, there was also guilt. Jackie often spoke about how his success came at a cost. He missed much of his family's life. He wasn't there when his son was growing up. Fame took him away from the people he loved most. It's a pain that fame cannot heal. As he grew older, Jackie began to see his journey differently. He once said, "When you're young, you fight to be strong. When you're older, you learn that kindness is the real strength." He started doing more charity work, building schools, and helping the poor. He gave away large portions of his wealth, saying, "My son will make his own fortune. My money belongs to the world." That's the heart of Jackie Chan, a man who turned suffering into art and pain into purpose. Even today, when he steps onto a stage or speaks in an interview, you can feel his humility. He often laughs at himself, joking about his broken bones or failed English. But that's what makes him real. He isn't a superhero. He's a man who fell 1,000 times and got back up 1,001. When people watch his movies, they're not just watching fights. They're watching courage, the courage to fail publicly, to get hurt for something you love, to keep smiling when life hits harder than any stunt ever could. There's a powerful lesson in that. Many people believe success is about talent or luck. But Jackie showed the world that success is really about heart, about never losing your spirit. Even when everything else seems lost, he once said, Pain is my teacher. Fear is my friend." That sentence sums up his entire life. He didn't run from fear, he worked with it. He didn't hide from pain, he learned from it. That's why, when you watch him, you don't just see action. You see a man who's turned his entire life into a message: don't give up, even when the world laughs at you. Today, Jackie Chan is not just a movie star. He's a bridge between cultures, between East and West, comedy and courage, laughter and pain. His films taught millions of people English, martial arts, and above all, the universal language of perseverance, from a poor boy in Hong Kong to an international icon. Jackie's journey reminds us that greatness doesn't come from perfection. It comes from persistence. It comes from falling and getting back up. If you listen closely, every time Jackie lands after a dangerous jump, you can almost hear a whisper behind his grin: "See? I'm still here." And that's what makes his story timeless. Because in a world full of special effects and fake heroes, Jackie Chan remains something rare, real. His life isn't just a movie, it's a message. A message that no matter how far you fall, no matter how many times you fail, you can still rise, and maybe even make the world smile while you do it. I share stories like this every day, stories that help you learn English through real lives, real emotions, and real inspiration. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.